I recently rewatched Dave Chappelle's scenes from the movie A Star Is Born. Not the whole movie, just the Dave Chappelle scenes, because I wanted to watch them. And it got me thinking, what are some great roles that stand-up comedians do in a serious movie or a serious role? Dave Chappelle's was an interesting one. You know, I remember when that movie was coming out. I was looking forward to that movie. I like Bradley Cooper. It was a directorial debut. Lady Gaga, I'm not a big fan, but I was interested to see her acting. But a big draw to the movie for me was Dave Chappelle as being a supporting actor in this one. And it was pretty good. He did like he was basically like the Morgan Freeman character, even though he wasn't Morgan Freeman age. He was just kind of like the older, wise black magical black man. Is that what they call him? He was like the reverse of, like, in La La Land, John Legend was the successful friend who has Ryan Gosling get back into music, but then Dave Chappelle was like the friend who gave up the music career, and now he lives in the suburbs with his family, and he's trying to get Bradley Cooper to step away from the music career. And what I thought was interesting about the character is it's very reflective of Dave Chappelle's real life. You know, he's on top of the world, a comedian guy, and then he turns his back on that, and he just wants to live a normal life with his family in Africa and eventually Ohio. And then, you know, now obviously that's no longer the case. He's once again one of the biggest comedians in the world, but you know, he had to have been able to pull something in order to play that character. Another Bradley Cooper movie, American Hustle, has Louis C.K. in a supporting role. I like this the movie. This is a real movie I like a lot. Louis C.K. does a good part in the movie. He plays Bradley Cooper's boss at the FBI, and a lot of his roles he plays like a Midwestern guy, like a Michigan guy. Midwestern, he does like the Midwest accent. Okay, you know, he has his stories and all that, and he's from Boston, but he does a really, you know, accurate portrayal of someone from the Midwest. I like when he does that. His character is kind of like a foil to Bradley Cooper, and he doesn't want him to keep, you know, going about a lot of the actions that he's doing. He keeps telling this story throughout the movie. Eventually Bradley Cooper like beats him up with a phone, and they all make fun of him. It's a funny character. He's a funny scene in a movie that's I think a good movie. And Louis C.K. plays like a kind of a sympathetic but stern boss very well. I think that was a good role that fits him. A lot of people online, they like to theorize like, why are comedians so good at dramatic roles? What's the point of, you know, how are all these comedians, they're such good dramatic actors? I don't think it's a case that the comedians are particularly good dramatic actors. I think it's more a case of the writers or directors specifically choosing the comedian for that role. Another David O. Russell movie, it's not out yet, but it's coming out, is this Madden movie. He has Shane Gillis in a role. This David O. Russell, he must like something about comedians, casting them in his movies. I imagine it's going to be a bit of the similar thing to Tires, where Shane is just playing a variation of Shane Gillis. You know, obviously I'm a fan of Shane Gillis's, but I don't think acting seems to be something that he's particularly either interested or applies himself too much at. So I don't know. We'll see what that's like when that movie comes out. Like with Uncut Gems, the Safdie brothers specifically wrote that role for Adam Sandler. They've been trying to cast him in that role. They must have, you know, seen something in the past that made them think that this character would be perfect for Adam Sandler. They wanted Adam Sandler in this movie so bad. It took them 10 years to get him to make this movie. I think that's probably more often the case, is that it's not that the comedian is the perfect actor, dramatic actor for this role. It's purely because the writers or the directors want them specifically for the role. One I saw that was kind of weird was it was a TV show, not a movie. It was called Welcome to Chippendales. Kumail Nanjiani plays like this autistic like Indian guy who starts a male strip club. I think he was pretty good in it. It was a kind of like a chilling character. I don't know, you know, how much of I don't know, like how accurate a portrayal of the real guy it was. If maybe they were, you know, trying to make it a bit more dramatic, a bit more, you know, tense. But I thought that was a good role for him. Speaking of A Star Is Born, they also had Andrew Dice Clay. This is funny. They had Andrew Dice Clay playing what's her name's dad, Lady Gaga's dad. It's funny because when he's not in like the whole outfit and the glasses and the gloves, like he just looks like a regular like older man. I see him on TikTok all the time. He's always like messing with people in public. People have no idea who he is. And he does his, his little accent. I think it's weird watching Dice Clay in a serious role like that. Especially, if you don't know if you don't recognize him, and it's not going to take you out of the movie. Like I remember I was watching clips of Chris Rock in the TV show Fargo. That took me out of it. That was like, he's so recognizable, and his voice and everything. That's one example of, I think, where it can't work having a comedic actor in a serious role. It just felt like I was watching Chris Rock in like old timey clothes. Same thing. He did a movie, like a Saw remake. And I went into it thinking it was going to be a comedy, but it was like a serious like horror Saw thriller movie. But it is just Chris Rock in it for some reason. He wasn't funny at all. Why would you put Chris Rock in a Saw movie and not put any jokes? I don't know. There's a ton more comedic actors in a serious role movie I'm sure that I'm missing, and that people are going to tell me that I missed, even though this is something I've been experiencing, is people not watching the video but then commenting on something that I missed in the video because it wasn't included in the thumbnail. Just make it all the way to here to see all the actors that I talked about, and then comment which ones I'm missing, because people keep doing that. They keep commenting the shit that I missed out on just because it wasn't included in the thumbnail. You got to watch the whole video to see my takes, because I know everybody wants to know about this stuff. So yeah, leave a comment. Tell me what roles I missed. Tell me what roles you loved. Tell me if you loved any of the roles that I talked about. This Dave Chappelle role. And let me know what other topics about like movies I should talk. I keep talking about comedy movies. Should I keep doing that? Should I change it up? Should I talk about David O. Russell? I've been watching a lot of David O. Russell movies lately. That might be why I'm thinking about him. Maybe I'll just talk about his movies. I'll just do a whole video about my favorite David O. Russell movies. But I don't know. Let me know. Thanks for watching this one. I appreciate that you took the time to click on this, and subscribe for more. We do more stuff than just me talking about like just random thoughts about movies. But I'll see you around. Big peace.